This is Sportscentre.
Hey, I'm Marissa, Roberto, and don't look now, but the Jets are the best team in the NHL. Not only have they won 12 of 13 start the season, no other team has even won 10 games yet. In fact, it's one of the best starts to a campaign in NHL history. Winnipeg is just the 6th team to ever win 12 of their first 13 games, and tonight they have a chance to join the 07-08 Sens as the only team to ever win 13 of their first 14. However, 4 of the teams on this list got bounced in the first round of the playoffs, and Pittsburgh got eliminated in the second round. The Jets have been fueled by their high-octane offense. They've scored a league-best 62 goals this season, and are the fastest team to score 60 goals in a season since the 05-06 Senators. And their offense has been fueled by their dynamic power play. Gabe Vilardi became the 9th different Jet to score with a man advantage on Tuesday. Winnipeg's power play is clicking at a ridiculous 44.4% rate, as they buried 16 times on just 36 opportunities. And it's been a balanced attack from the Jets, as 4 different players have at least 16 points, despite having his 12-game point streak snapped on Tuesday. Kyle Connor's tied for 8th in league scoring, while Nick Ehlers and Mark Scheifele are hot on his heels with just 2 points behind him. Meanwhile, Josh Morrissey only trails Cale Makar in points among defensemen. Heel and Neil Pionk have a combined 29 points, making him the highest scoring blue line duo this season. Lastly, Connor Hellebuyck has seemed to put his miserable playoff performances behind him and looks more like his Vezina winning self. He picked up his 39th career shutout against Utah, which is the most of any goalie since his debut in 2015-2016. And viewers in the Jets region can catch them hosting the team that bounced them in the playoffs last year. Puck drop against the Avs is scheduled for 7 Central on TSN 3. Week 10 the NFL kicks off tonight with an epic Thursday nighter between the surging Bengals and the high-octane Ravens. Our pregame coverage begins at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, with kickoff scheduled for just over an hour later on TSN. Despite their brutal 1-4 start, Cincy can get back to 500 with a win. And now to get you set, it's time for our weekly edition of FanDuel Fast Facts. You know how it works, 40 seconds on the board. I try to get through as many facts as possible to help you in your betting needs and me and my betting needs. So let's take a look. And we got 40 seconds on the clock. See what I can get through. My previous record is 5, starting now. This will be the 7th career meeting between Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson as starting QBs. Jackson has won 5 of their 6 previous meetings, while Burrow is 3-0 against Baltimore when Jackson doesn't start. Baltimore beat Cincy 41-38 in overtime back in Week 5. That game featured the most combined points in any game this season at 962 combined total yards, which is the second most of any game this year. Both teams are 3-1 since that start. Coming off his second MVP, Lamar Jackson seems to be getting better. He leads all qualified QBs in passer rating, offensive yards, rush yards, touchdown interception ratios, and pass yards per attempt. Something's got to give as the Bengals have won 3 straight road games and the Ravens have won 3 straight home games. However, Cincy's wins all came against teams that are currently 2-7, while Baltimore's wins are all against teams with winning records. Both the Bengals and Ravens scored 41 points in Week 9. It's the first time in their 58-game series that both teams will enter having scored at least 35 points in their previous game. Okay, whew, those were long ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those were novels. Kind of rude. So I think we should bet the Bengals just because. Like, it's time. We should bet the Bengals. They're going to do it. They're going to do something. Coming up for the CFL Preview, powered by FanDuel. The playoffs are rolling along as we head into the division final. Looking first at the East, we'll see the Argos take on the Als in Montreal. These two faced off in last year's Eastern Final, with Montreal upsetting Toronto in hostile territory. I don't know if you remember, but that was a huge upset, as last year's Argos finished with a CFL record-tying 16 wins, and were expected to compete for a Grey Cup. Things are different this time around, as the Alouettes have the best regular season record, meaning this game will be played in Montreal. So the Als should surely be able to do it again, right? But we're not counting the Argos out so fast, as they have been one of the only teams to have Montreal's number this year. Toronto won the season series 2-1, including a 19-point victory on the road in Week 6. They were also one of just 2 teams to beat the Owls twice this year. For those reasons, FanDuel has this one pretty close to a toss-up. The Alouettes enter as a slight favorite, but expect this one to be close in Montreal. Moving out to the West, we got my Riders taking on the Bombers in Winnipeg. The Western Final is absolutely nothing new for the Bombers. They have played this game every year since 2018, only losing once. And in both 2019 and 2021, those victories came at the expense of the rival Riders. The Bombers held the Riders to under 20 points in both of those games. And with Winnipeg having arguably the top defense this season, we can expect a similar game plan this time around. But Saskatchewan certainly has a chance as they beat Winnipeg back in Week 7. AJ Ouellette was a big factor in that game, rushing for nearly 100 yards and averaging 5 yards a carry. And if Saskatchewan's offense comes to play against Winnipeg, Ouellette's anytime TD prop looks really juicy. This one's shaping up to be a great matchup that could go either way, but FanDuel currently likes the experience of Winnipeg to pull through. But as we all know, anything can happen in the CFL. You can catch both the Eastern and Western finals right here on TSN, with coverage beginning at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific on Saturday. It's gonna be a fun day. This Sunday, the NASCAR Cup Series Championship will be decided with a duel in the desert at Phoenix Raceway. To get you set with everything you need to know, here's our racing guy, Lukas Wacker.
Great to see you again, Marissa. Let's break this thing down. So for Joey Logano, he's trying to join an elite group of drivers that have ever won 3 career Cup Series championships, and not to mention he's had the most amount of prep time of anybody after winning in Las Vegas a couple of weeks ago. For his teammate Ryan Blaney, he's also trying to make some history this weekend and becoming the first back-to-back champion in the playoff era, which started back in 2014. That team has got a 50% chance at winning it on Sunday and winning 3 consecutive Cup Series championships to start the next-gen era. While on the other side of things, we've got William Byron and Tyler Reddick. For Byron, he's trying to bookend a season for the history books here and win the Daytona 500 and the championship in the same season. The last time it was done was also for Hendrick Motorsports with Jimmy Johnson back in 2013. And for Tyler Reddick, the regular season champion through the first 26 races, has had an up and down playoffs, but he's trying to deliver Michael Jordan and 23XI Racing their first championship in only their 4th full-time season. So lots of unique storylines to follow on Sunday, and all have a recipe for a fantastic race at Phoenix.
All right, Lukas, I'm putting you on the spot. Who's going to win the championship?
Oh, Marissa, you always put me on the spot with this, but I'm going to go with Ryan Blaney to win back-to-back championships and win it in 2024. That team is just too good. He's too good at Phoenix. And I'm going to think that they're hoisting the trophy on Sunday. I don't know if he'll win the race, though. I will say that.
Lukas, always great to have you. Enjoy the race.
Thanks, Marissa. Enjoy the race on Sunday, everybody.
And before we go today, we just want to shout out the PWHL. They just dropped all of the jerseys for all of the teams today, and they look incredible with the details as well, and the numbers in the back. I also love that they dropped it in time for the Toronto girlies to purchase one, perhaps in time for the Taylor Swift show. Huh? A little nod to the logo there? Okay, I don't know. I don't know if I should get blue or white. Help me decide! That's it for me today. We'll see you back again tomorrow at 3 Eastern, noon Pacific. Have a good one.